Why it's important now, in 2015, why the concept of heritage and European heritage is that important now in Europe, as it brings, as I would say, a new perspective of understanding of what this commonality, this common imaginarium of Europe is in a certain moment in time after 1989 and after 2004, after the moment when a political transformation started and when Poland and other Central European countries entered the EU. Not all of them, but maybe one day. So the question of new mythologies that appeared after the collapse of the previous system, I would be willing to say, following Tismanianus, a book of which the title is Fantasies of Salvation. Tismanianus is saying that after the collapse of the previous regime, in fact, we can observe in Europe the epoch of new mythologies, that after the collapse of the previous ones, we've got a new mythology, new mythologies coming in different Central European nations. And my idea would be to follow the concept of political mythologies and to look at the idea of European heritage as a sort of modern post-enlargement mythology in Europe, creating a sort of symbolic context within which this new European identity is forged. So the context of old mythologies that disappeared, that are replaced with new mythologies, and I would say that European common heritage as a concept might be considered as a political concept. Gerard Delanty, in quite many articles and books, stated that in the contemporary Europe, we can observe a process of a weakening of grand narratives. Grand narratives are getting weaker and weaker. That's why, as he is saying, the concept of heritage is becoming so important. Old narratives, old way in which Europe has been presented so far, are replaced by what? Exactly, by the concept, as he is saying, the concept of European heritage. Now we don't need grand narratives. We don't long for them. Now we've got a new concept that allows us to understand the past in a new shape. And this is European heritage that stresses this aspect of Europe that he calls cosmopolitan Europe, cosmopolitan aspect of Europe. This concept, the concept of heritage and European heritage embraces what has been so far called history, memory, tradition, monuments. And this is a new shape, a new perspective that embraces all that, but it covers as well a sort of promise. There's a new common imaginarium is in Europe possible. This is a big promise and a quite big adventure that is still in front of this concept. Why it's so important for Europe now? Because this concept allows to go beyond the old Europe, the West Europe, and to embrace the countries which belong the realm of Charlemagne, of the old Europe. This is a concept that embraces much more than only the West. It invites countries and places, memories, histories from the past that goes much beyond the realm of Charlemagne. This is what we will easily find in Delancey's work.